Time is an abstract concept, a relentless river that flows regardless of our existence. Yet in the high altitudes of Central Europe, humanity found a way to tame it, capturing time inside cages of gold and steel. We begin not with a watch, but with a sound, the rhythmic ticking that mirrors the human heart. This is the story of Switzerland, a nation that did not invent time, but perfected the art of measuring it. To understand the Swiss watch, one must understand the Swiss landscape. The Jura Mountains are harsh, isolated, and unforgiving. In the 17th and 18th centuries, winters sealed these valleys for months. This isolation mattered. It created patience, discipline, and an obsessive attention to detail. When movement stops, precision becomes purpose. The spark came from religious persecution. In the late 1600s, the revocation of the Edict of Nantes forced thousands of Huguenots to flee France. Among them were master craftsmen, goldsmiths, and clockmakers. They crossed into Geneva carrying mechanical knowledge and refined artistry. Geneva became the crucible where French elegance met Swiss Calvinist discipline. Ironically, a religious ban fueled the industry. John Calvin forbade ostentatious jewelry, but a watch was considered functional, not vanity. Stripped of necklaces and rings, artisans adapted. If beauty was banned on the surface, it would live inside the mechanism. As watchmaking spread into the Jura valleys, a unique economic model emerged, the établissage. Farmers snowed in during winter turned their homes into workshops. One family made gears, another springs, another dials. In spring, merchants assembled the pieces. Precision wasn't optional, it was collective survival. Look at the old farmhouses in La Chaux-de-Fonds and Le Locle. Large north-facing windows dominate the facades. This wasn't design, it was necessity. Watchmakers needed consistent, diffuse light to work on microscopic components. Entire towns were shaped by the needs of timekeeping, now recognized as UNESCO heritage sites. For centuries, Swiss watches were unique creations. Then, in the late 19th century, a threat arrived from America. Companies like Waltham mass-produced reliable watches with interchangeable parts. The Swiss were caught off guard and forced to adapt, blending craftsmanship with industrial precision. This transition created the brands we know today: Omega, Longines, Rolex. Production moved into factories, but mastery remained central. These manufacturers weren't soulless assembly lines. They preserved hierarchies of skilled watchmakers. The Swiss brand became a global guarantee of quality. Accuracy became the battlefield. Observatories in Neuchâtel and Geneva hosted chronometer competitions followed as intensely as sporting events. Winning meant proof of mechanical superiority. A certificate wasn't paper. It was victory over friction, gravity, and physics itself. World War I changed how watches were worn. Pocket watches failed in the trenches. Soldiers needed time on their wrists. Switzerland adapted quickly, miniaturizing movements and improving shock and moisture resistance. The watch became intimate, exposed, and demanded higher engineering standards. Inside the case lies a mechanical ecosystem. Gears, levers, springs, no electricity, no software, just stored energy unwinding with discipline. In an age of planned obsolescence, mechanical movements are designed to survive centuries. It begins with the mainspring, a coiled metal strip storing potential energy. Winding a watch transfers human motion into mechanical power. The challenge isn't generating energy, but releasing it slowly and consistently over days. The escapement is the heart of the system. It divides time into equal beats. Tick, tock. The Swiss lever escapement, used in most mechanical watches, balances efficiency with durability, enduring billions of impacts with minimal wear. The balance wheel oscillates back and forth, keeping time. Temperature once distorted this rhythm until Swiss metallurgy created alloys like Niverox and Glucidur, largely immune to heat and cold. Friction steals energy. The Swiss solution was jewels. Synthetic rubies, harder than steel and perfectly smooth, serve as bearings. 21 jewels isn't luxury, it's longevity. A complication is anything beyond telling time. Chronographs, GMTs, perpetual calendars, these are mechanical computers solving mathematical problems using geometry instead of code. The tourbillon places the escapement in a rotating cage to counter gravity. Today, it's less about accuracy and more about mastery, a visible statement of mechanical dominance. Minute repeaters chime the time on demand. Tiny hammers strike coiled gongs. Tuning them is closer to instrument making than engineering, requiring both precision and musical instinct. Why are Swiss watches expensive? Look where no one looks. Finissage. Bridges are beveled, surfaces polished, edges perfected by hand. This isn't decoration alone. Polishing improves performance and longevity. Its integrity made visible only to those who open the case. The Geneva Seal enforces this philosophy. Created in 1886, it guarantees origin, construction, and hand finishing to strict legal standards, not marketing, regulation. In the 1970s, quartz nearly destroyed everything. Battery-powered watches from Japan were cheaper and more accurate. The Swiss ignored them too long. The industry collapsed. Survival demanded a shift in meaning. If cheap watches told perfect time, mechanical watches had to sell something else. Emotion, heritage, identity. Swatch saved the industry. Plastic, quartz, colorful, and profitable. Its success funded the revival of traditional mechanical brands. At the top sit Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, and Vacheron Constantin, the Holy Trinity. They maintain uninterrupted archives and define high horology through restraint and complexity. Rolex stands apart, not high art, pure industrial excellence. Vertical integration, total control, unmatched consistency. A Rolex became a global symbol of achievement. Alongside giants, independent watchmakers emerged. Dufour, Journe, MB&F. Small production, radical ideas. Proof that watchmaking is still alive, not frozen in history. Métier d'art elevate watches beyond engineering. Grand Feu enamel dials are painted with glass powder and fired at extreme temperatures. One flaw destroys the work. Success lasts centuries. Gem setting on watches demands engineering discipline. Stones are set without compromising structure or water resistance, beauty under constraint. Guilloche engraving uses century-old machines operated by hand. Patterns catch light in ways machines still can't replicate, adding depth and movement to static surfaces. Despite automation, final assembly remains human. A master watchmaker adjusts the movement by feel, by sound. This is where the watch gains its soul. Why do we desire these objects? Permanence, phones expire. Mechanical watches age with dignity, connecting owners to continuity and craft. Watches have become financial assets. This brings attention and capital, but risks distancing enthusiasts. Still, it confirms enduring value. A mechanical watch is sustainable by design. No batteries, fully repairable. A watch from 1920 can run perfectly today. Longevity is built in. Becoming a watchmaker takes years. Students learn patience before precision, filing metal by hand before touching a movement. Tradition doesn't mean stagnation. Silicon hairsprings, ceramic cases, carbon composites, modern science refining ancient mechanics. Smartwatches aren't a threat, they serve utility. Mechanical watches serve meaning. Different worlds, same wrist. You never own a Patek Philippe. You look after it for the next generation. Because a Swiss watch carries memory, not just time. Swiss Made is one of the strongest brands on earth. It stands for neutrality, trust, and precision. Values exported globally through watchmaking. As life becomes more digital, the mechanical becomes more valuable. Fewer watches will be made, and they will matter more. In the end, a Swiss watch is not about knowing the time. It is about respecting it. Tick-tock.